today. So to start with, we are going to be having some chicken wire. This will be the base of the bouquet. I color enhanced it with Design Master Champagne Gold. Love that stuff. I did that so if you see a little bit of the gold shining through, it's really not a big deal in the final project. So this piece is actually 27 inches long and 6 inches wide. You'll notice that because of this raw edge, I just ran a wire up here to kind of tie it all together. I didn't want the loose pieces out. So this is going to be the base of what our Cascade Bouquet is going to be. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create the handle. I pre-taped two 18 gauge wires together with white tape, and we're gonna take a hyacinth stick, cut it the length or the width of the bouquet, which is about 6 inches. So this is actually going to be the handle. And I'm going to tape it in the center of my wires. This will give us a nice handle to hold on to that won't bend and it'll stay in place. So we have it there. It's a little off center, but forgive me. We'll make it work. Then I'm going to bring out the drill, put it into the drill, because I want to cover this with yarn as well. I'm going to use my textured yarn. And we're just going to cover it. Sorry for the noise.
Got Antrim that says hello, Cindy says hello, Jean says hola, and then we have Beatrice saying merci pour les totos.
Hello everyone. Hope you're all having a good day.
And Agar Wall says hey.
Hello. I love all my floral friends are out there creating beauty, thinking of what we're gonna do once we get our industry back and going. It's very unsure right now. So this is going to be the handle, and then you just bend it along where the wood was, and so this will be what you hold on to. Feed it through the chicken wire. Knot it on both sides. Make sure it's even. And this will be what you'll be holding on to for the bouquet. So to work on this, I'm going to actually move around the table, bring my drink.
Laura says, hi Adam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Leticia says, hey. Bill says, love your drill.
Thank you. We had to go buy that because I broke my other one. I burnt it out. So that is a new one. So I'm just going to put it up on here so we can you can see what we're doing, some fun stuff we're doing. So as you can see, that is going to be the handle, and this is going to be the base of it. I'll move this other table over here. I've already pre-curled some of the fabric, and like the last video, I used 18 gauge wire, and I wrapped it with the different textures and color tones of yarn to give us all these different varieties. I think it adds a lot of texture, brings some variety. So for those of you who may not have seen it, you just take your wire and just wrap it in a circle so you get that. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to open this up a little bit. And then start from the top. Can you see? And just feed it through this and wire it around. So, do you want to stand? Which way, Jamie, do you want to be? So you're just opening them up and you're just feeding it through, grabbing a hold of the chicken wire as you go. And the chicken wire is going to give us the strength that we need to hold this bouquet together. The advantage of using chicken wire is you can make it really any size, any shape you're looking for. And before someone asks, I did attempt to do this with the Oasis wire, but it just wasn't strong enough to hold this, unfortunately, because I do love that stuff. So you see how it's sort of starting to fill in already? I did do, and I'll show you, I completed a whole one. And it took me 100 pieces of this to do that, to completely do the backing of this. So, as you can see, you just use your back spine to grit all of this, and you bring it together and you start bringing it in. And you want to fill it all the way in. So once that's filled in, I knew with this job, I wanted to add a little bit more of a texture to it because we had so much softness and I wanted to bring some of this into it. I found these at the Las Vegas gift market and they are beads, sea glass beads. Love with these. I put them in dull and I really didn't enjoy the dullness. I did want some kind of shine. So I had clear nail polish remover or nail polish and I just hit them a little bit. And I don't know if you can see the difference. This one is actually hit with the nail polish and this one's not. It just gives it a little bit more of a shine. And that's what I wanted for this thing. I did not paint it all because I did want to see some of the dullness as well. But I just gave it a little bit of a hit. And then all I did to attach this to my fabric was put a piece of bullion wire. I used silver because it blends away. Twisted it around. It luckily had a hole in it, so I twisted it around. And then, Jamie, if you can come over. So I just held the bullion to this and I just wrapped this around what's already there. It grabbed a hold of the yarn and cut that off. And you'll see in the finished one, I have some of these and it's just really a pretty texture. It just adds a little bit of shine to the dullness of the fabric, which I kind of love.
So just a couple catch-ups. Cindy says, hi, excited to see this. Got, let's see, Lou says hi. Renata says hi. Michael says, hello, Adam. Happy Wednesday, bro.
Hey, brah.
Michael says, love your lives as a fellow florist. And then we have, sorry, just a little catch-up here. Aaron asks, is the yarn to wire a Oasis product?
It is not an Oasis product. The yarn wire, I just took a 18 gauge wire, taped it with white, and how I did the handle in the beginning of this episode is how I covered it with yarn. And I just went to the craft store and got different varieties of yarn to cover the wire with.
Cool.
So this is Basic Styles, and as you've watched my other ones, I do have a finished one I want to show you, but this gives you an idea of how to start. And let me take this down and I can show you how it ended. I got our work tables are on wheels.
Jan says, "Hi, my love, so creative." And Julie says, "Hey, Adam, thanks for the afternoon inspirations." And Dahlia
pleasure.
says, "Hello, Adam."
So this is one with 100 wires in there and the sea glass beads. I think it's stunning. I love it. I think it's a great armature to put the flowers in. I purposely didn't cover the back because I do want to show you guys why the chicken wire is so important. You can see how I've wrapped it around the chicken wire, and the wire is still holding integrity. Like, it's still perfectly fine. It's not misshapen whatsoever. I would normally go back and cover this before utilizing it. And you could cover this with, you have your bands here. Let me just lay this down. You could go in and just keep these circled and glue a bunch of these onto the back and just create a pattern on the back just to cover up the chicken wire. We don't want that to show. Even if you're using this for a photo shoot or what have you, you should always cover your mechanics, but you could go in and kind of cover up the back with that. Or I would use Permanent Botanicals Dusty Miller foliage because I love that color and I think that color would blend in with this. And I would just glue some to the back of this. But this is 100 pieces of wire put together. You saw how we did the handle. Now let me put this up here.
All right, just a little catch up here. Let's see. Michael says, "Beautiful, absolutely stunning" by Aaron. And then
Thank you.
Fabio says, "Love that innovation. Thanks for inspiration." And then we have a question: Do wires can come out also? What you do to fix it permanently?
To fix what, I'm sorry?
The wires.
To put these wires on, I just continually twisted them around the chicken wire stem, the chicken wire brace. So I just put it through and I twisted it around, and it's not gonna go anywhere. Like, that's on there. So that's how I attached all of the pieces to this. Grab some flowers, of course. So this is some raw wool that an amazing designer that I get the pleasure of working with named Angie Lee. She comes in and her mom has sheep, and I am not a country boy by any stretch of the means, so I didn't know anything about it, and I was telling her about a project I was doing, and she was able to get me some raw wool, which I'm absolutely in love with. So she brought me this, and I am just going to use a little bit of this because I love the texture of it. I think it's gorgeous. Jamie, could you show?
That's disgusting.
Stop. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this. If there's a little bit of wire showing in the back, I'm just going to add a little bit to the back. And it just adds a little color depth into it, covers up some of the wool, the wire, and it really does blend in. And because of the wires are so much in there, it holds it in place, so I really don't need to glue this in. And do you see how just having another natural element covers up the mechanics in the background, covers up that gold wire. I'm not opposed to seeing a little bit of gold here and there, but I don't want it to be where your eyes automatically go to that. I have some of this in purple and red she gave me as well, and I gotta figure out how to utilize that for one of my videos. Because I do love this texture of this. So you see, the gray just gives a little bit of a base, covers up the gold. Love it. Okay. I think that's all we need for this. I'm happy with it. Now we have some beautiful roses, some delphinium blooms, or larkspur blooms. Delphinium, I think it's delphinium on one of those days. I have some plumbosa pieces that I'm going to be putting in, some eucalyptus pieces that I'm going to put in. So I'm not going to be putting a whole lot into this, and for my purposes, because we're doing this as a video and I want to keep the armature, I'm not going to glue the stuff in. Normally, you would be using Oasis flower adhesive to glue all these things in. And you just glue the stem, let it rest for a few seconds, and then put it in. But for my purposes, because I want to reuse this armature, I am not going to be gluing, but this is what you would glue in. And the armature is just going to hold on to all of the stems as you glue them in. I hope you guys have lovely weather. We had snow today, which was a little crazy for us. And see, the foliage is just, again, just pieces. I don't want to do a whole lot of big pieces of foliage in, because I do love to keep some of the yarn work visible. There that goes. And then, what, Jamie?
Nothing.
I love the featherness of plumbosa. You might want to consider just dusting the plumbosa, if you're using something like this, with a little bit of champagne, just to give it a little bit of glitz and glam to something a little. I think it just adds. A lot of times for our events, when we have solid color grains, like heavy grains, we'll just dust them with a little bit of a shimmer, and it just adds a little luxury to your pieces. You see how it's starting to come to life with our beautiful floral product. And again, thank you to Kennecott's for giving me some product to design with for these videos. I appreciate it immensely. We gotta support our wholesalers and our farms. They all need our support just as much as we need our customer support. So we have that. We have some garden roses we can put in.
Laura says, fabulous structure. Thanks for sharing. Gooseman says, love flower, very nice. Michael says, what a wonderful idea, and it's a natural product. And then Karen says, beautiful in Houston.
Thank you, everybody. And as you can see, I'm not gluing, and so if any fall out, I apologize. I just wanted to give you an overview. And we're gonna finish this offline, I bet. Hate to take up all of your day, but I just wanted to do a little bit of this, and I want to show you one final trick that I've been doing with these. A little bit of this. This will still see the natural element of it. So we're gonna finish this offline, but I did want to show you one more thing that I find works out. After I have all of the flowers into this, I take a piece and I stretch this out and I place it over the flowers. And I'm gonna do that, and you're gonna notice, and I want you to notice in the final video, and the final photos that we do, I'm gonna do that over some of them because I like to see the depth of the flower within and this beautiful natural material coming over it. So that is our video for today. We will be posting some completed images once I get them completed. And if you have any questions, just send me a message. I love doing this for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Stay safe and have a lovely day, everybody.